Mr. Wasag, the Penagamutsi, Tompasis, Watan, the Naskamaigo Wasag. People that were up here this morning to help us with our opening ceremonies. It brought so much pride to me as well, because that's what it's all about, our younger generation, giving them the opportunity to participate in our big events like this. And I'm so thankful that whoever invited them, I thank you. Anyway, as we move on into our Treaty and Yorkville days, I want to encourage everybody to have fun, play safe, be safe all week, and enjoy each other's company. It's not too many times that we can get together nowadays in an environment such as Treaty and Yorkville days and celebrate our rich history. So it's a pleasure to be one of the leaders here. I want to welcome our visitors, Minister, Grand Chief, Mike Lee, Councillor Dion. No, just kidding. Just kidding. And of course, our staff, they work hard, Trudy and the gang. We were part of the committee, me and Councillor Eddie Albert, and we were treated like one of the committee members. We weren't treated like councillors. We were like committee members. So it was always good to take direction from our managers. And we've been at it for 40 years, probably, me and Eddie, running Treaty and Yorkville days. So it's like riding a bike for us, year after year. I'm in charge of entertainment. So next year is our 50th. Mark your calendar, 50th anniversary for Yorkville days. So we want to bring in some major entertainment. This year we have Nazareth tonight, Aaron Goodwin tomorrow night, our Youth Talent Showcase on Thursday, our Adult Talent Showcase on Friday, our Square Dance Competition Saturday, and of course the King himself, Ernest Monias, will be here on Saturday evening to shut off our celebrations. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you, Health Division staff, for putting up the health fair. It's always important, Minoy Awin, our health to be first and foremost in these very challenging times. Please practice the fundamentals throughout the week. I know it's going to be hard, but do as best as you can. There's hand sanitizers all over the place. Be safe, have fun, and let's enjoy each other's company. God bless you all.
Thank you, Councillor Anthony George Abitagan. Our next councillor is another brand spanking new one, my brother John Henry Jr. I got a lot of brothers.
Good morning. Very glad to be here. First of all, I'd like to thank the committee. I've seen them starting earlier this year. It takes a lot of planning, commitment, and I commend you on following through, the members, Trudy, all the staff that helped. I'd like to welcome all the visitors to Norway House. This is my first Yorkville days as councillor, and I'm looking forward to this week celebrations. I was gifted this shirt, the ribbon shirt, by family from Alberta. Our great-great-grandmother left Norway House in 1858. She married, and then her husband left Norway House, and they never been back since. Mary, if you want to stand up along with your cousin there. This is Mary Collins. She traveled all the way from cold Goodfish, Alberta. And she presented me this, our family from Alberta. Mamino Adams, our great-great-grandmother was Mamino Adam. And she reached out on Facebook last year, and I answered right away. And then we got together last summer in Edmonton when my granddaughter had heart surgery. And it started from there. And they came in a few days ago to celebrate with us. They wanted to see the Henry and Marianne York annual York Boat Days. It's part of their family, and then for them to come home for the first time after 150 years, it's really something I really hold dear in my heart. And we got together on a couple of nights ago at Chief and Chambers, and there was a big family. First time we met Mary and her daughter and her cousin. It was really, really emotional, and I felt that night. And they visited my dad too. My dad's not well. He's very sick right now. He told me that to keep praying for him, and that's what we've been doing every night. And I'll probably go sit with him most of this week. I missed a few meetings already, but family comes first. Kay Tono. Again, I'd like to welcome everybody, and hopefully we have a very safe event this week. And thank you.
Thank you, bro. That's a very beautiful shirt you have on. And you know what it means in Cree custom, right? Whatever somebody loves what you have on, you take it off and you give it to him, right? Remember that, right? Just kidding. Nice sweater, or nice jacket, nice shirt. Our last but not least, we save the best for the last always. Our counselor, brand spanking new as well, Dave Swanson.
Danse nutema kinutamiskat no minister eminente nute tagosnana dos pe tamiskat tagok aga tutamisko gesteyak utagasno kaya check ugimagan tasoy ugiugewak isto aga ya kino se sipin nok ayunista evi pisise viane mutamano mota is umaisa kawiti betawan wagoma mayuma wasime sapo ko manapo metawanon utana kiti si kiskisino utana kiti si tapeno isa umagagi pe yo ufiginano kagi pe si matche honano eguma evi kiskino ajistayak. So I think it's I just want to express that with the celebrations that we have here for us, that we're honoring our history, we're honoring our traditions, we're honoring our heritage, and that is so great to do that. I think it's great for our youth to be able to see that on a regular basis, and I'm really going to be pushing and promoting our way of life, our history, our language. And just an example of what we had up here with the youth, the young people that were coming to sing in Cree in the Nimwin. We're going to do more of that, promoting that, and displaying that, and getting our youth to learn that as well. And that'd be the language. That should be the language I should be talking right now to all of you, and everybody to be able to understand, even our visitors. So I think it's important that we promote that as much as we can, and of course honoring our history. And it's certainly great to see the Rundle family here, as well as the Colin, the descendants of Maminoadam and the Steinhauers. Welcome home. I did now. And I think it's we met some of these people a while back, and it's certainly great to see them here. And we certainly like to see more of your families come home as well to come and meet our people. Anthony mentioned that next year is going to be the 50th anniversary. And I was talking to my son, and he had a great idea. He said, Dad, why don't you guys call it a homecoming celebration for next year for 50 years? I thought, that's a wonderful idea. So I think that's one thing that we can do, is have a homecoming, invite all former Norway House people that that lived here, as well as that extended families. Begi wake, let's celebrate. And I'd like everybody to be safe, take care of each other, And one last thing I want to mention is that we're going to be setting up a booth here because, as all of you know, there's the sad part of our history is that the residential schools, and we're going to be doing our GPR searches, ground penetrating radar searches of our 2 residential school areas and probably some other areas in our community in the next few years. And we're going to be displaying some information for people that want to know what's going to be happening and who to contact if they have any questions. Egusane, and let's all have fun. Eguse.
Thank you, Councillor Dave. Gonna have to commend you on a beautiful traditional shirt you're wearing there, Councillor. We'll see you after. Okay, I'm going to ask our chief to come and introduce the minister. Chief Anderson, if you can do that for our guest, please. All right.
Thanks, everyone, again. So we wanted to invite Minister Greg Nesbitt, Minister of Natural Resources and Development, to our nation and say a few words. Thank you.
Good morning, Tenze. It's certainly my pleasure to join you here today in your community. I would first like to extend my appreciation to Chief Anderson and Council for welcoming me and my colleagues into the community today. I would like to respectfully acknowledge that Norway House Cree Nation is signatory to Treaty 5 and to recognize Treaty 5 territory as the original lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, and Oji Cree peoples. It is a pleasure to be here for Treaty and York Boat Days Festival and to celebrate with you the heritage of Norway House Cree Nation. Today, I am pleased to be part of this annual event to celebrate significant accomplishments and history, as well as to honor the great leaders of the community. This is also a celebration of the community's resilience and strength and colorful culture and traditions. It is through a deeper mutual understanding of the values, traditions, and aspirations that we take new important steps on the path to reconciliation. As the newly appointed Minister of the Department of Natural Resources and Northern Development, I have been given a renewed mandate which focuses on responsible development of Manitoba's abundant natural resources and building mutually respectful relationships with Indigenous communities. It is our priority to advance a meaningful and respectful approach to shared management of our natural resources and to work collaboratively with First Nations to ensure the long-term sustainability of our forests, fish, and wildlife. We would like to build a better relationship with you and work together in the spirit of partnership and reconciliation to ensure our forests provide the values we have come to depend on today and in the future. Our government is working on a partnership with First Nations and Indigenous communities on sustainable resource management and sharing of meaningful benefits with the community. My department has had the pleasure of working with your nation's leadership towards the development of a memorandum of agreement, which we will sign here later today. This will forge our partnership towards the development and implementation of an approach to timber dues revenue sharing. The memorandum of agreement highlights support for multi-year tree planting initiatives, which will establish new forests and provide opportunities for employment. As a symbolic start to this initiative, we will conduct a ceremonial planting of 15 trees today. Collaboration with your nation to assist with supplying saw logs to your local sawmills. Sharing of revenue from the commercial harvest of timber, which will provide more economic benefits to your community. And support a traditional land use study and a consultation coordinator position to ensure respectful and meaningful engagement and consultation for future forestry operations as we move forward. Our partnership today sets the stage for advancing reconciliation, renewal of our relationship, and beginning of better collaboration to support the economic development of the community and strengthen Indigenous participation in the forest economy. Thank you. Egose.
Maybe go in the middle there. I believe one of these pictures are done by Mr. Rideout, I think his name is. Right? He's been producing a lot of these kind of beautiful sunset pictures for our community. And a big hello to him for what he does for our community and stays with us in the community. One of our educators.
You okay? Get some coffee. So a man that doesn't need any introductions, a man with many words and lots of singing, Grand Chief Garrison Satie.
Tanse ni tutemak ni tisanak ni wagumagan na kita tamiskat nawaw anut sa gisigak menenita mo inigay si megoskat tuwagan anut sa gisigak tamuchikita gumametawe gisigak megots minaswit si meneniten petagusinanut at tapitaw emusitan sagiwewin ututemetuin tapatenemuin Nasbis ni meneniten kay si wapat niek mitse tonima kay si nugutayek stenitsigewin. Nasbis ni meneniten egusay si musitan tataw tet tagusanan agwa pagusenimon kaginaw menoyawin kitaw titigwe kumagawiyati si metawaniwag piatagenemuin mutsigitawin minawasime kita minawachiguisyeg Kinawawano ka peututek, kagi pian nagis kami gani mission, kagi ganen ni migaw egisa, kita gis kinamatu kami gug, kagi kagota gani mo ek mitse tuaski pagusenimon kita minoya ek. Egose muchigitag menentamok agayo kapegyuga ko agnistantinni maguta nasbis ni meneniten mitse to Esiviceituak, pemetsagamagoag ginuseisipig, naspitsa sa kuesk, eviceituak, minakisiwak, ewagutuak, naspitsa mineniten, egatapunitak, egonima, egawigas, tapunitak, animagaisikistenimituak. It is my honor to be here in the Norway House Cree Nation, and on behalf of the 26 chiefs that I represent, we bring greetings on your 49th annual Treaty and York Boat Days. It is always exciting for me to be here because, you know, all throughout these years that I've been coming here, I've always felt accepted and welcomed by your people. And it's a good feeling. It's an awesome feeling to know that you're welcome and that you're accepted. So I want to thank you for that. Throughout the years, I've worked well with the leadership. When I was a chief of my First Nation, I've always worked with the leadership in a very good way. And I want to thank you, Chief, for extending the invitation. I always thank your Chief for his support in my role at MKO. His insight, his advice is very important to me, and I'm very thankful for that because sometimes I have to phone and ask him for advice on certain things. So I also want to thank the the council for their strong leadership. Norway House has always had strong leadership as far as I can remember, and we have some older ones, more veteran council members here. But I thank Anthony for his friendship throughout the years. We've known each other for a long time, and Councillor Dave Swanson and I go back in education, and it's good to see that you're stepping up to take on this new role. And I know you can make a difference. So, and of course, the newer Orville and John here are very new, but they're experienced in the nation, and I know that they'll be a benefit to you. So I want to thank you for all your support towards Cross Lake and MKO. So thank you for that. I don't want to be too long here today, but I must say, how we began these opening ceremonies is very important with Cole Wilson. Can we give him a hand one more time? And the young choir that sang in our language, because our language needs to be protected. Our languages need to be preserved. And what we're seeing is the youth are starting to learn songs in our language, and that's really uplifting, heartwarming, and I'm very proud to hear our language being sung. And we should continue that. We should continue that. And also want to thank the organizers of York Boat Day. I want to say you've always done a tremendous job. The organization of York Boat Days has always been impressive to me. You're so organized, and everything's so in place, and I enjoy coming here. And I just want to commend your staff and your team for always putting on a good show for all of us. So I want to give you a hand myself for your hard work and your professionalism. It's really nice to see that. And I also want to thank the people that have supported me as a Grand Chief in my role. The elders that you have in your community are very precious. So I want to greet your elders. And I must say, I don't want to forget Dennis Day, my old colleague here. It's good to see you, my friend, and I wish you the best. And I just want to wish you prosperity as a nation. I want to continue to pray for you, that you will continue to be progressive. Norway House is a leader in all the First Nations in Manitoba. You have exemplified professionalism and also moving forward, always moving forward and being progressive. It's very impressive to me, and I want to continue to see that. I want to encourage you to keep being strong as a nation, because we look up to you to move forward. The rest of us want to follow your example. So I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be here, and Minister Nesbitt, thank you for being part of this opening ceremony, and also all the people that are going to be coming to visit you. Make them feel welcome as you always do. I know Cross Lake will be here. They're going to try to steal some money off of you, but I know you're going to fight hard. Always. But thank you for always making me feel welcome. Be at peace, be in health, be happy. Ego sana, ginanas commit now.
Thank you, Grand Chief Minister Nesbitt. So yesterday we were down the bank and taking on some of the events and watching a crews working tirelessly and very hard to get ready for York Boat Days. So the gentleman pulls up next to us when we were on the boat, and He says that this is the great grandson of the. What did I say? Great grandson? Oh, sorry, okay. Correct. I stand corrected. He's the grandson of the original signatory to the Treaty 5 of 1875, Mr. Randell, who was grandfather or grandson of Chief Randell when he signed our treaty in 1875. So I invited him to come and maybe share a couple of words of wisdom and maybe share what his family is all about. And so, Mr. Randell.
These tall men. I am somewhat overwhelmed by the recognition of Chief David Rundle, as mentioned, who signed the treaty. My connection to him is through his son. His name was Gordon Rundle. And of course, Gordon married my mom, who is from Saging First Nation. And here I am because of their union. I had read a lot about some of the treaties. I had heard about the York boats. I saw pictures of them, never in real life setting. I want to thank Mike Maswagan for his hospitality. He drove his boat around the lake, showing us, my wife and I, what Norway House was all about. Also, the highways that have been improved since my last year. I was here years ago when maybe you guys will remember Walter Spence. He was the executive director for Child and Family Services here. And I was an executive director for Southeast Child and Family Services at the time. The boss has spoken. I have to introduce her. No. Seriously, a little bit about, now my connection with Norway House. And as I see it, as I saw it, it's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful community. I met some people, I met most of the counselors, and I was overwhelmed by the acceptance of the people in Norway House. I met other people as well through Mike. But a little bit about my own family. I am 76 years old. I just retired from Island Lake about 6 months ago, I'd say. I was with them for a couple of years, and I thought at 76 it was time to leave, to retire. I'm trying my hardest to do that, and I enjoy working with children. I enjoy being a part of their lives, trying to help them grow in a safe home, safe environment, and to be raised by, and they are raised by children who love them, regardless of what the circumstances are. Parents will love their children. Grandparents love their children. I know that for a fact because we have 4 of them ourselves. And the youngest one is 9 years old, little girl. The next one is a 13-year-old son. And as grandparents, we just love them coming over to visit. Maybe that's the thing, is they come over for a visit and they go home. We don't have them all day long or all week long. But anyway, it's grandchildren are beautiful, beautiful people to have with you. My wife, Delphine, has been with me by marriage for about, I better get this straight, 53 years. Yeah. We have 3 children, 2 daughters and a son. They are on their own. One has a master's degree in child psychology. The other one has a degree or a certificate in early childhood development is the title of her profession. And my son David, he's in child welfare, has a degree in child welfare and has been in child welfare for the last 10 years. I myself have been in it for about 35 years, and then I did some part-time work after I retired. But I wanted to just say how appreciative and how overwhelmed I am to have seen the community, the beauty of it by boating, and in the car that Mike has been able to drive me around, and my wife. In terms of history, you all know the history of how Fisher River, where I was, moved down south for many reasons, I suppose. And I wonder, how could you leave such a place, such a beautiful place, you know? I might get heck for saying that, but, you know, it's a pleasure to be here. I mentioned York both days already, and I wanted to, I've noticed things like instead of say police, you say safety officer instead of a police or an RCMP. You use words that are tender, easy to understand, and you know, you feel more at home with words such as safety, you know, rather than police, city police, or anything like that. I noticed that, and it's been the first time this morning, yes, that Dell and I had breakfast outside, and she drank from a pot of tea, and we hadn't done that in years because we retired in Winnipeg. And so I won't take any much more of your time. I want to say to you how grateful we are and how humbled we are to have been able to get the opportunity to visit your community. So with that, I thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, boss. Here's a small gift of our appreciation. So you'll remember, I'm not sure these are men or female, but you'll figure it out on your own. And of course, you can't leave without it. Open it up and pull it off over there. Here, you grab this for you. Got your bag over. Good. Remember that white guy pulling a Coke?
Yeah.
That's his work. Maybe take it over there, guys.
I met this man, look at this. I met him about 3-4 years ago, I think. They introduced him in a conference I was at, Dave Randall, and I went up to him, I said, "Are you any relation to that man that signed our treaty?" He said, "That was my grandfather. I've known him for a number of years, and he's been a good friend, and I figured it's time that I shared him with Norway House, because his grandfather had a lot to do with what we are today. When he signed that treaty in September 24th, 1875, right? And I took him to the site where we think that the treaties were signed, the old fort, Northern Store. So I got some pictures that but David, I thank you very much for you and your wife for joining us. And it's kind of like a coming home to him. And I tagged the chief on Fisher River, do some acknowledgement of him too, because his family his grandfather went there to start a reserve, right? So thank you again. All right, that's for our speakers. Now we're going to go into the Community Spirits Awards. And I thank the leadership, the Chief and Council, and the Honorable Minister for participating in our opening ceremony for our annual Treaty Yorkwood Days. And 50 years next year, wow. We're in for a good treat. I just suggested a big entertainment knack to the councilors. Now they have to produce. I'm just kidding. We got some Community Spirits Awards that we need to give out. For the male part, the adult male, we're acknowledging and giving an award to Johnny Meikle. Are you around? You were just here. Johnny Meikle? What? Oh, he's right here. He's coming. Adult for the Community Spirit Awards. I think they're right there, right? Yeah, right here. Dante Chanas? Yeah. Sure. Good job already. Yeah. Here's a small gift from us, from the community. Thank you.
Oh, this is short. Tansay gaganoon nawagamaganuk nikanish gotun natisna caution. I'm an example of some of our generation that has struggled with keeping the language, and I've made it my responsibility to start to move in that direction and reclaiming it. It was beautiful to see our youth, learning the language, and I really feel it when I hear our older generation speaking. I really feel it in my heart and in my spirit, and it's my duty, my responsibility to get there, to be able to speak fluently again. I want to share a little bit about Strength in the Circle. So it was earlier this year, I was in Ottawa hanging out with some bureaucrats. I was at the Pro Board of Canada annual training for risk assessment. And there's an analogy that was used more than once that I heard. They would say it's hard to try to fit a square peg in a circle hole. And when you think about it, a lot of our paradigms, our ways of being, our ways of knowing are circular, like our logo back there. Now with that circle, to me, what this circle represents is reciprocity. It represents life. The sunrise represents a new beginning. It represents equality. There's so many teachings with that circle. And so I think it's time that we start to whittle away at those sharp corners of that square. I was upstairs, and we have our men's healing group every Tuesday at 6 o'clock in the Veterans Hall. And that means a lot to me. And we go over the historical trauma, and we share with one another our experience, our strength, our hope. And in that same space, we have our court system, our fly-in court system that comes in there. And I was in there one day, and I could see the way the courtroom was set up. It was very square. And I hope to see one day our criminal justice system changed to meet our needs as Indigenous people. We've gone through so much pain, struggle, and it's time for our healing. And we're going to find it when we come to those spaces in circle where we share with one another in equality. When we learn from each other, we open up that dialogue with one another, that dialogue that is that love and understanding. And I look forward with excitement. I'm grateful to be here today. I'm grateful to be able to interact with all of our leaders up here, as well as our leaders in the community that are on the front line, that are engaging with our youth. Because our youth will move towards reclaiming the land, the language, and the laws of this place. And that's what gets me excited every morning. That's what gets me out of bed. Ego se, kinanas kumitinawa. Thank you.
Thank you, John. All right, for the female Community Spirit Award goes to Lucy Muswagon. And for your info, I didn't select these, okay? That's my sister, I just called up. Lucy Muswagon is our recipient for the Community Spirit Award. All over the place helping out. That's why they finally acknowledge you, sister.
Oops. Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor, and it's very overwhelming, and besides that, I just want to encourage everybody to to help out. It doesn't hurt to give a helping hand. It doesn't hurt to do stuff for people without getting paid. You don't have to get paid at the end of the day to do your work. Some of the things I've been doing are, as you know, that at bereavements, I make the ribbons for people when they ask me. I make it for them without payment. I ask them how many they need, and I make them for them. I make some bouquets for weddings. I don't get paid for the amount of money I spent to purchase the supplies, the flowers, and everything. Things are very expensive nowadays, but at least I get some of my money back at the end of the day. My time is not even counted in there, and the hours, because I stay up long hours, especially if they ask me the day before the funeral. Sometimes they ask the day of, and I go out of my way to do that. And aside from that, I help out at events. I just go. I don't even get asked to go. Sometimes they ask, but most of the time I just go and help out. As for work, been doing lots of hours at the end of the day, and I just put in hours and lots of hours. as well. I don't know. I don't know if you all know, but my daughter's been sick for, I don't know, more than 10 years now. She's been on dialysis for 10 years. I try to make every chance to go and see her. Right now, she's in Winnipeg. She has to stay there for a few more weeks. Just a few weeks ago, about a month ago, she had surgery, and we almost lost her. During surgery, and we couldn't even be in a hospital with her at that time. So finally, they allowed me to go in, and of course, her dad wasn't there, but he was there after the surgery, and he was able to go see her too. And it's and I still had to go to work. Still had to work right through that time. And I guess one thing to mention is for anybody that, if you're healthy enough to do work, to go out there and just ask if people need help, or just go. And with that, I want to thank you. I don't know what my nominator was. I'd like to thank you. All I was told was, make sure you're here today, so I'm here. So thank you, everybody, and thank you for the gifts. Thank you.
You sure said a lot for somebody that said you didn't know what to say. Thank you, Sister Lucy. The Youth Community Spirit Award is Danae Ross, and I believe she's out rowing right now. If she's not, or if you know her, tell her to come and see one of the York Food Days committee folks, so she can get her award. We have a jacket and a hat for her. All right. Next one we have is the Outstanding Athlete. We have a Sonny Albert in the crowd. I've seen him earlier. Sonny, are you around? I hope you're here, Sonny. We got to acknowledge you. Sonny, actually, for your information, is a very good athlete to begin with, but he also, this young man literally backstopped the Bruins to the national championship this past spring, early spring. He did an awesome job, and I think he got the best goalie or best valuable player of that whole tournament. He played his heart out for their brother that has fallen a year ago, Brent Wilson, and that was my nephew, and those boys played their hearts out for him, and I know they did, and I know why they won. It's because of that. They committed themselves to do that. But Sonny is not around. Sonny, you will get this award to you somehow if you can hear me. I know his dad is here. Is he around? He's around, right? Oh, he's doing the events. Okay. Sonny, you're a winner, man. Congratulations. How about a hand for Sonny, guys? The last outstanding awards for athletes that we have right now is for the youth. And I hope that these two young men are here. I'm really very anxious to see these guys, how far they go with their profession. Hubert Clark and Hayden Papanikis. Are you in the crowd, please? These two young men have been selected. They're from Norway House. They've been selected to go to a Western Major Junior hockey team. And I hope and pray that their success in what they're trying to do for themselves and make us proud and make their family and themselves proud. These two young men, maybe they're probably out south, maybe skating already, You never know, but to the families of Hubert Clark and Hayden Papanagas, if you can come and see the Yorkwood Days Committee members, we got gifts for them here. And please relay our best, and we wish them nothing but success in their young lives. This time I want to turn this thing over to Councillor Eddie Albert. This past year, we lost an icon in our community, and I say an icon because she was a pillar of our annual Treaty Yorkwood Days. Her father's name stands for our men's championship. And the lady I'm referring to was late Iona Maminawalam, and I'm going to ask the family members to come up. Please, Pedestig to the sisters that are all here, and they're going to play, and Councillor Eddie will explain what's going to happen here.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, the selection committee, we would like to acknowledge those individuals that were awarded the community spirit and outstanding athlete. Had a difficult choice, but those were the individuals that were selected. But for now, I want to introduce the late Iona Mamidolan's family. I'm going to ask Myra to say a few words why they're here. And Myra? So we'll get Myra to speak on this. Like I say.
Yeah, I'm not Myra, but the families asked me to help and support them. They're still very emotional with the loss of their mother, October 19th, 2021. So I just wanted to say a few words on behalf of the family on how I knew the elder. She was a very good friend of mine. And during this time with Treaty and Yorkwood Days, the first person I would ever see down the bank would be Iona. Iona would sit in her vehicle and wait for people to show up. And my encounter with her last year was, I'm here to ruffle some feathers. In other words, I want people to come down the bank and start rowing, because it was about a month before the celebrations and nobody was rowing at that time. So she was encouraging people to come down the bank and start rowing. It's not only for competitions, he said, it was also for health reasons. When you pull those oars, you need to be in very good shape, and that's what she promoted. Health and well-being, and Iona always said winning is one thing, but being together is another. These ladies here, they're still rowing on the same team, and I believe their daughters and granddaughters or daughters are rowing on the team now. So they're carrying on the tradition of their late mother. One of the things that Iona also did was fundraise for some prizes for the Henry Maminawadam Memorial Yorkwood races. He sponsored jackets, vests, caps, t-shirts, and she did it through fundraising. Pizza sales, bacon rummage sales, loony drives at the four-way, and however she could find a way to do it. And this year I was so touched that the ladies on the stage here carried on that tradition. They're sponsoring some of the prizes for the Henry Maminawadam. They're carrying on the tradition that their mom left them, the gift that their mom left them. Very valuable gift. Help one another. Saagidatan. Love one another. So I was so honored to have been a great friend of Iona. She always talked to me about not only about politics, but life in general, always encouraging me to do the right thing for the people. She always said, Ininwak Nigan, people first. And that's what a lot of us do. We take our our people first. I don't know how many birthdays, how many anniversaries, I don't know how many events I've missed to be with the people, and the sacrifice and the commitment that she told me to do. I cherish it. These ladies have all been good friends of mine throughout the years, and I'm so honored to be a part of their family, to be invited to help with the first ever Iona Maminata Memorial Award. We were kind of struggling with how do we honor such an icon in our community? How do we honor such a great lady in our community? So the family talked about it, and they came up with the award, and they came up with the criteria, and I'm going to get Diane to come and read the little write-up that they did. Okay, Diane?
Hello all. We're here to give our memorial award to our late mom. She was a professional rower for 44 years and more. And this award is presented to a female rower who is the characteristics that we found from our mom. And they are: the female rower is committed and enjoys and is always enthusiastic about rowing. She encourages others to participate, and she never discriminates. She portrays a positive attitude when it comes to rowing, and she is readily available in getting that boat and team prepared for practices and races. She is very supportive by being around to help around the area where the rowers are. And she promotes rowing as a means to stay healthy and to keep active. And she is also proud of other female teams' accomplishments, and these include the men's York boat teams as well, and participants. These are all the qualities our late mother Iona had, and we would like to recognize a female rower who displays them all. The Maminawaram family is hoping that this award will encourage more female rowers to enjoy participating, whether it be win or lose, as our late mother really never cared to win. All she cared about was participating and having fun.
Because it's still emotional for the family to, think about their mom. They've asked me to help with the presentation. The Treaty and York Boat Days Iona Maminoara Memorial Award, in recognition of your active dedication, participation, enthusiasm to the women's professional York boat rowing. And I'll read the quote here. Always row with your heart, mind, and faith. The winner of this year, the first ever Iona Maminawata Memorial Award, is presented along with a $1,000 check or cash from the Maminawata family for this award, is presented to Marian Simpson. Marian Simpson. Where are you, Marian? She's here? All right. Astam. Marian's been rowing for, I don't know, 40 years maybe? Yeah, she's one of our mainstays, rowed with Iona and a bunch of other ladies, and yep, she's the steer person, I believe, the steers woman of the York boat team, and it's an honor and a privilege for Marian to be presented with this very prestigious award. Okay, I forgot to read part of the plaque there. I want to sing Mantuman e Mapago. Okay? Mantuman e Mapago. That's what she always says. So, Marian, congratulations. You deserve the award. I don't know if you want to say thank you, if you have
Hello, everybody. I didn't expect this award, but thank you for the Memanawadam family. We're going to miss our old lady. Iona, she was always there for us, encouraging us through. So, thank you very much. That's all I can say. I'm too emotional.
All right, let's have a round of applause for Marian. A big thank you to the Maminawadam family for carrying on traditions of your late mother, the lessons she left you. Is there anybody that wants to say thank you here? Anybody? Myra? Come and say thank you.
Well, thank you, everybody.
I was telling you folks, my brother here and my brother there, for your info, Marian is my sister too. All right? That was an awesome honor from, like I said, an icon lady in our community that we lost. And I remember asking her a few years ago, I said, Iona, when are you going to retire? And she said, Ispiga sago hintapwe, when I cannot lift my oar, she said. You know, she worked hard throughout the year to bring sports jackets and track suits to the winners for the both A and women championships. And she worked tirelessly throughout the year. And to the young ladies from the Maminawadam family, the daughters and a sister there as well. Pinascomitnan, thank you for coming here and paying an honor to your late mother, your sister. Pinascomitnan. I'm going to ask Elder Grant. Kagiba Peratana, Elder Grant. Grant. We're going to close off this part of our events now. And to the folks that are still here, please, who see Janice in this boat over here, take a look at what the health division have in terms of their boats, in terms of what they offer for services to our community. And you even get your name entered for draws. And then these are all the draws that they're going to have here, I believe, right, Florence? So thank you to Florence and your staff for the work. They came in here literally and set up within minutes. Awesome work that they did, and they came in here from the other side of the building. So I thank you for that. And we're going to get Elder Grant Guasicapo to close this part of our program with a prayer. We started off in a good way, this program, and we're going to finish it off with a good way with a prayer as well too. So those of you that can stand and join us, please do so, and we're going to close off with a prayer. So Elder Grant, if I can ask you, I will say.
And Wes, before we pray, tagiskisya, tagawchimaga, kita puesta mo inan. Before we pray, we remember as we quiet down the source of our faith. Nas kamaya iti bestige minan. Seman tuminan. Istige gon magabas negatik metawewin. It's an honorable thing to be able to be part of this Pastenegate through the York days. Nas kamao. Kuhtawin og istigisigo. Tiemihatan. Agiseman tu. Kagisewat siyan. Emusta kisagiwin. Ewichigwa. Loving God, in your kindness, we feel your presence of love among us. Epagusene mo, we hope that things go well. Taminopanik magatimetawan. Please each one of us. So when minanis bahpiagwa, so enter our community and place each person, visitors that come with us to join us in our celebration of life. Ano tayo nani kasi siya kuit sumitar. Bigis siya aro tayo nan. Be kind to us and be with us at every breath we take, at every step we take. Make us aware that you are with us. And ask kamitah in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Elder Grant, and everybody. That concludes our event here. And like I said, take part in the booths that are in our building. Thank you, and stay safe, everybody. Play safe, play hard.